What is up, guys, and welcome back to Rags to Riches 3, the series where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2009, work our way up through the Codemasters games, and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2017. We're currently in the 2010 season. It's Istanbul, the Turkish Grand Prix, and if you have missed any of the previous rounds so far and the 2009 season, go catch up with the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens. You'll find all of the episodes up in that corner. But let's take a look at the standings after 6 rounds so far of this season. It was a very, very good start to our 2010 season. 3 6th positions, then a 5th place, but unfortunately, when we got to Spain, the season started to unravel. We had a very, very rubbish performance in Spain, then unfortunately, last time around in Monaco, we had a crash in towards anti-nose corners twice in 2 laps, and yeah, that kind of ruined our race, even though we saw Fernando Alonso get absolutely murdered by Nico Hülkenberg. So that's 2 drivers that we don't have to worry about anymore for the rest of this season. But looking at the standings, we are currently 6th place, quite a bit away from 4th position. Of course, if you are new to the series, then basically the team that we drive for in F1 2011 is determined by whereabouts we position in this season. So 1st and 2nd will get us a drive for Force India next year. 3rd and 4th will be a drive for Williams. Then 5th to 10th will be a drive for Lotus. Of course, the backmarker Lotus, not Lotus Renault. Then 11th to 16th will be a drive for Virgin, and 17th to 24th will be a drive for HRT. So we're currently in 6th place, which is a drive for the backmarker team of Lotus. But of course, we are aiming for 4th or above. So hopefully we can make a bit of a stride and get a decent result here today at the Turkish Grand Prix. But how will we do? Let's find out as we head over to the race weekend for the Turkish Grand Prix. Here we go then, 1 shot qualifying for the Turkish Grand Prix, and I have not raced on this circuit without a racing line since a year ago when I last did F1 2011. So getting the braking points right on this circuit is going to be tricky. As you can see, completely missing the apex there through turn 1. But let's see what we can do on this lap. Of course, I do absolutely love this Turkish circuit. It's so fast, it's so flowing, and hopefully we can sort of get a good, decent lap time here today. I've got my teammate Kamui Kobayashi just ahead of me, but I'm making mistakes into every corner right now. It's not good enough at the moment. Hopefully Kobayashi doesn't hold me up. Get out of the way, teammate. Cheers, buddy. Move over to the right-hand side right. Let's see what we can do on the rest of the lap. We've sort of lost a bit of time so far on this lap, but I'm determined to make it up. Kobayashi, what are you doing, man? Why are you racing me? Go away. You let me through, and now what are you doing? Please, just honestly, leave me alone, mate. Leave me alone. Through the fast left-handers. Oh, I've kind of messed up there. No downforce on this car, of course. And now we're going to maximize all the way down this straight. Hopefully, we're still on for a good time, though. Okay, only this final section of corners left to go. Make sure that we don't overextend through this corner and brake too late in towards it. Maybe broke a little bit early, in all honesty, through there, but then through this little right. Try and maximize the final corner if we can. Over the curves, run it out wide. That's not gonna help our lap time at all. But across the line, was the lap time gonna be good enough for? It's terrible. That is awful. Right at the back of the field. Wow, this is gonna be a tricky race here today. That's just not good enough. It's just not good enough here today. Right at the back of the field. 2 tenths slower than the slowest guy of Lucas Di Grassi and, well, Bruno Senna as well. Unfortunately, that does mean that is going to be a very, very tricky race for us here today. Where's my teammate qualifying? Kobayashi in P12. So that is the potential we had. I mean, we were only 1.5 seconds off of our teammate, but I still, you know, only 1.5 seconds off your teammate. That's awful to be 1.5 seconds slower than him. But Sebastian Vettel, he lines up in pole position here today. Mark Webber in 2nd, then Felipe Massa in 3rd with Fernando Alonso 4th. Big gap back to the McLaren, so they are struggling at the moment in this 2010 season. Lewis Hamilton 5th, Jenson Button in 6th. Then it's Kubica and Petrov 7th and 8th, with Rosberg and Schumacher in 9th and 10th. So it's going 2 by 2 at the Turkish Grand Prix at the moment, up until, well, the top 10 anyway. The rest of the field is sort of a bit mixed. But the question is, though, what can we do from the back of the field? Hopefully, we can make lots of overtakes in today's race and work our way into a points-paying position. But we're just going to have to wait and see. It's race day here at the Turkish Grand Prix, and lining up in pole position is the main man, Sebastian Vettel. Webber, the other championship rival, alongside him on the front row of the grid. Kobayashi had a good qualifying session in P12, And it was a bad day for myself right down at the back of the field. But we are determined to make up a lot of positions here today, going for an alternative strategy, starting on the hard tyres, then pitting for the softs later on as it's 5 red lights, and away we go. Down towards turn 1, going to take it nice and cautiously, try not to go into the back of any other drivers and try and pick off as many positions as we possibly can around the outside. But unfortunately, that didn't really work too much. We've moved up into P23. We're side by side with Lucas Degrassi at the moment. Now go to the inside line to see what we can do up the inside through this next corner on Bruno Senna. Can we get the job done? Yes, we can. Oh no, Senna's come back at us. We're all going up the inside here. Nice couple of overtakes though through that corner, and I moved myself even further up the standing. So not too bad start to life for the Turkish Grand Prix. 20th position at the moment, but there is still a long way left to go if I want to get a decent amount of points here today. I just need to make sure I sort out my lines. I don't think I'm particularly quick around this circuit. It's seeming like this is very similar to Spain at the moment. Right, we're going to try again on Rubens Barrichello now. He's going side by side with a Lotus car, so we're just going to have to wait and see. Maybe slip it in the middle between these two guys, and unfortunately just not getting the braking on my own car. I broke late, but I broke a bit too late for myself as well, so that was a little bit annoying. Try and do the switchback maneuver. Do not hit that inside curb. I remember from before, I've done that, and it sent me into a spin, so I need to avoid the insert side of that final corner as much as possible. There's a lot of guys going defensive at the moment. We'll see whether we can go around the outside of Heikki Kovalainen through turn 1. Can we pull it off? Yes, we can. There we go. Lovely maneuver on Heikki Kovalainen's. Barrichello and Trulli are getting a little bit feisty up ahead at the moment, so that's good news for me. Those two keep on battling. It just allows me to catch up. Here we go on Jarno Trulli. If we can get a good line through these couple of corners. Trulli's in the way, unfortunately, but we have got the job done nonetheless. And there we go, overtaking Jarno Trulli, trying to make sure that we don't overextend ourselves through this hairpin. Now right on the back of Rubens Barrichello for P17. Let's see what we can do on the Williams driver into the next set of corners. We might be able to have a go in towards the next hairpin. We're slowly but surely picking off positions, but once we get past these two drivers, then it's going to start to get difficult. Then we're just going to have to rely on pit stop strategy and the other teams fighting each other. Okay, then we've got a lot of drivers into the pits at the moment. So this is going to move us up quite a lot of positions in today's race. Not quite yet into the points at the moment, but we just have to wait and see how the rest of the race goes. Up into P14 right now, but of course we are on that alternative strategy. So we're going to have to make a pit stop later on to go onto the soft tyres, but hopefully because we'll be on the faster set of tyres, we can still manage to work our way back through the field. Okay, we should have a couple more drivers into the pits at the moment, including my teammate of Kamui Kobayashi. So again, this is going to move me up a few positions in today's race. Not too sure whereabouts it is going to put me. P6, it's looking like at the moment as I run it a little bit wide through there. I've got a driver on my left-hand side, which is one of the Red Bulls. It's Sebastian Vettel. So we've come out just ahead of the leaders at the moment. Of course, we're not really going to be battling with those guys too much, so if he does go for the overtake, I'm not going to particularly get involved with a fight. That was not a good line through there. That's going to allow Sebastian Vettel a very good run on me all the way down in towards the next section of corners. If he goes for the overtake, like I said, I'm not going to fight it too much. There he goes on the left-hand side. Not going to fight him, just going to brake at my 150 meter board as I usually do. Get the car turned in, give him the room on the left hand side. If he wants to go for the overtake, he can. There you go, Sebastian Vettel, have P6. I'm honestly not too bothered. My fight is not with you, but if you're going to be in front of me, you need to hurry up, mate. You need to hurry up. I'm not getting held up by you, okay? If you're going to go for the overtake, go for the fucking overtake. As we've got past a few more drivers in the pits there, but come out, in fact, behind a Renault. So we've only moved up into P4. Vitaly Petrov getting the better of us. So does Mark Webber. Mark Webber's had a fantastic strategy going for that extra lap. So has this Renault of Vitaly Petrov. I'm not too sure who the guy is in second. I'm not too sure whether they've had a pit stop or not. I believe they have, and I believe it is one of the McLarens. As another driver's come into the pits. Not too sure who that is. I believe it was Fernando Alonso. So I'm not too sure whether that's a two-stopper or a one-stopper. I really don't know what Alonso's doing right now, but he's into the pits. So he is someone that we could potentially be out ahead of after our pit stop. Sebastian Vettel may potentially go for an overtake in towards this hairpin. It's not going to faze me too much because, of course, we are coming into the pits in today's race. Just need to make sure we don't go into the wall, which we don't, and just need to remember the limiter line. And there we go, put the limiter on, and into the pits we come. Hopefully, it's a good pit stop from the team. Slam on the brakes and make sure that we don't run over our Jack man. as we get the pit stop done. Come on, please be a quick one. It is 5.1 seconds. Not held up at all. Onto a set of soft tyres coming out in P16 at the moment. We will be overtaken by a few more drivers as we exit the pit lane. But we're going to come out side by side with one of the Ferraris, which is Fernando Alonso. So he's in P15 at the moment. What can we do on the Ferrari man? And can we catch up to the other drivers in today's race? Of course, I want points. I want points at this Turkish Grand Prix. I love this circuit, so I would be a bit annoyed if I don't get any points here. As we've got some drivers coming into the pits right now. I'm not too sure how many that is. I think it's just the one at the moment. Yes, it is just the one driver, so that moves us up into P15 for the time being. Fernando Alonso still directly ahead of me. I can also start to see Kamui Kobayashi on the track map, so hopefully I can start to go for the overtake on my teammate very, very soon. But we are really starting to catch up to these guys now. Come on, what are they going to do down towards turn 1? Potentially could go round the outside through this corner, but we are right on the tail now of all these drivers. Here we go, round the outside of Alonso. Let's keep it on the circuit, round the outside of the Toro Rosso as well. Lovely manoeuvre down in towards turn 1, and that's moved us up into P13. Only a few more positions left to go before we are into the points. Can we do it? I've got Hulkenberg, then my teammate, and then a couple of drivers just ahead of him. There is a possibility that I can go from last on the grid, terrible qualifying session, to the points, but I've only got 1.5 laps left to do it. Here we go, on the back of Nico Hulkenberg. Now, what is he going to do down towards this next corner? Can we outbrake him? Yes, we can. Can we get good acceleration as well? There's a driver on the right-hand side. Michael Schumacher's gone for a spin. That's moved me up into P12. Can we go for the overtake on Nico Hulkenberg, though? All the way down in towards this next section of corners. Going to have to go round the outside into the hairpin if I want to get P11. And there's the case of trying to catch up to my own teammate as I brake very late compared to Nico Hulkenberg. Here we go, fighting with him, but he gets the job done under braking. Here we go into the next section of corners, maybe round the outside into the final turn on Nico Hulkenberg. Good acceleration out the corner, and there we go, P11. 1 lap left to go, and we are 1 place now away from the points. We've got Kobayashi and another driver just ahead of me. The tyres are now starting to wear, but Kobayashi is going very slowly. Come on, we can get into the points. Come on. It's going to be, unfortunately, taking points away from my teammate, but I want them more. I want those points more than Kamui Kobayashi does. Here we go, in towards this right-hander. What can I do to go for the overtake? Maybe up the inside through this next corner, side by side with my teammate. Come on, come on. This is for P10. This is for points. I want this. I need this. Where's he going to go? Here we go, up the inside of Kamui Kobayashi, but can we keep it on the circuit? Yes, we can. There might have been a little bit of contact between the two of us, but nevertheless, we've got the job done, and we are into the points for the Turkish Grand Prix. Now, let's not make a mistake and throw it all away. We do not want to do that at the end of this race. I'm getting a gap slowly to Kobayashi at the moment. I don't believe I'm going to be able to catch up to the Renault ahead of me of Robert Kubica, but that's fine. I don't mind that, as Mark Webber is the race winner here today at the Turkish Grand Prix. But this could be an amazing return to points at the Turkish Grand Prix after losing out on points in the last 2 races. Terrible 2 races at Spain and Monaco. But it looks like we're going to be returning to where I need to be. Unfortunately, it's not maximum points. It's not the points that I kind of need to start catching up to the guys in the top 4 positions. But let's just take every race as it comes. P10 here today from the back of the grid. What a fantastic result. 10th position at the Turkish Grand Prix, right from the back of the field. Momentarily there, I thought I wasn't going to do it, but I still believed in myself. I kept on pushing, and that just goes to show, don't give up. Keep on going all the way to the end, and we got the points right at the death. Helped out massively by that spin from Michael Schumacher, because if that didn't happen, then potentially we wouldn't have got points in today's race. But nevertheless, P10 at the end of the Turkish Grand Prix. What a great result. Mark Webber finished in the lead, so he gets 25 points, and that's really going to help out his championship, with Lewis Hamilton second, Petrov in third, and Vettel missing out on the podium after starting in pole position. That's probably my fault, because I held him up for so long after his first pit stop. But that's unfortunate for Sebastian Vettel. He finishes in 4th, Massa in 5th, Jaime Alguersuari 6th, with Jenson Button 7th, Liuzzi in 8th, with Robert Kubica 9th, and myself getting the final championship point. Then we have Alonso down in 13th, not a good day for him. Rosberg down in 15th, and then we have the spinner of Michael Schumacher way down in 22nd position. Not a good day for him, but let's have a look And unfortunately, it does affect us in the championship. Vitaly Petrov has moved above us. We are P7 at the moment in the Drivers' Championship. But we're only 1 point behind Vitaly Petrov. And we are 21 points behind Jenson Button. But we've got Canada up next, which is going to be a really strong circuit for us. So hopefully we can maybe get a podium in that race. If we can do that, then that will be absolutely amazing. But at the moment in the championship, Mark Webber leads the way by quite a bit over Sebastian Vettel. With Fernando Alonso, he's really struggling. He has not had good races, always finishing outside the points. So he's really struggling at the moment in this season. Constructors' Championship, though, we've been overtaken by now Renault and Force India. We're on the same amount of points as Force India, but we do need to try and see what we can do, whether we can catch up to Renault and Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship as well. If we can do that, get P4, that'll be great. It looks like Red Bull are running away with the Constructors at the moment. McLaren and Ferrari sort of having a battle amongst themselves. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out in second place. But that's it for today's Turkish Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. A tough race then here today at the Turkish Grand Prix. Didn't have the pace myself. The car also, I felt, was a little bit of a problem. Couldn't really push it that hard at this circuit. I mean, I was pushing it as hard as I possibly could, but just couldn't find any more pace. So maybe that's my own ability or the cars, I'm not too sure. But looking at the standings, before we end today's episode, P7 in the Drivers' Championship, unfortunately slipping down 1 position from the previous episode. So the last 3 races have really cost us in Spain, Monaco, and here. Of course, we did get 1 point here today, but we can do better. We know we can do better, and we need to do better. We need to do better. We need to get more points. We need to work our way through the field and get into those top 4 positions, because we want to get a Williams seat and we want to get a Force India seat for next season. If we can get one of those, then that'll be a really good season in 2011. We get a Lotus seat. It could be difficult. It could be difficult in F1 2011. We're just going to have to wait and see how the rest of the season goes. But that is it for today's Turkish Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed the episode, don't forget to smash a like on the episode. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already done so for daily Formula 1 content. We've got Rags to which is free on here, F1 2017 career mode, and some other Formula 1 content coming to the channel very, very soon. I also want to know, I've been playing a bit of Fortnite recently. Do you guys want to see some Fortnite content on this channel? If you do, don't forget to leave a comment down below. And as always, fill up that comment section. I want to know what you guys thought about today's race. Let me know down the section below, and I will get back to you on those comments. But I will see you next time at the Canadian Grand Prix, which should be a very strong circuit for us. But until then, it's goodbye from me.